Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe. As we all know, WWE and AEW are friendly competitors in the realm of wrestling. There are no sly barbs at one another, no counter-programming, and definitely no poaching of talent. Okay, things are maybe a little bit more fraught than I was making out, but these are companies that are staffed by adults. Petty squabbles a kid's business. So anyway, Chris Jericho was at the New York Toy Fair in 2020, along with the rest of the AEW crew, to show off their new line of action figures. Chris, a decorated champion in WWE, wanted to pop over and see what was going on down at WWE's booth at the same event. Now on Talk is Jericho, he told how he was turned away from the toy booth in kind of a sequel to Jingle All the Way. Jingle Y2J. He said it was so funny. Typical WWE bull S-word. They wouldn't let us up there to see their display, and so one of the guys let me in, and then I was filming something. He goes, "You can't film." I go, "Why?" He goes, "Because I'll get in trouble if they know you're up here." I'm like, I've made these guys 200 Chris Jericho WWE action figures, and I can't come look at your display. But the display was in the back of the room in a corner. They had nobody there. None of the talent was there, and I thought, this is pretty lame in comparison to what AEW has, which really surprised me, especially at the Toy Fair in New York City. A little bit of shade on top that you've chucked in there, Jericho, might be why they didn't invite you. I think it's easy enough to understand why WWE wouldn't just want AEW talent hanging around their booth. It's basically free advertising for their rival. But Jericho is also a bit of a different story here, because they probably were selling his action figures. And that's kind of free buzz about your booth. If Jericho's there and Jericho's action figures are there, WWE maybe should have had some talent there. I think it's also worth pointing out that this might have been a partner PR agency person, someone who worked for the toy manufacturer or whatever. It's not like it was Vince McMahon down there with a little Mattel t-shirt going on. "Have you seen the new Fiend figures? Have you seen them?" Talking of buzz, it's been building for the wrestling calendar's biggest event as people begin to wonder what matches we're going to be treated to come the Showcase of the Immortals. Now I'm betting good money that they go with Edge versus Roman Reigns. There were fireworks, Louis. Fireworks.
I am willing to bet good money this means that he's not picking Roman.
He said he was going to make his choice after the Elimination Chamber things, after the dust had settled. He's literally been building to this for ages, and they've got had physical altercation. He's pointed to the Mania sign, Louis.
He pointed and made fireworks happen, Louis.
There's fireworks, mate.
Louis, they've announced it on Wikipedia, Louis. I'm reading about it now, Louis. No, you will never live that down. Now, one thing complicating people's theory-crafted match card is the Miz's cash-in of his Money in the Bank contract that closed out Elimination Chamber and saw him walk away with the WWE Championship in tow. Now, I think a lot of people assumed that Drew would still be the champion at Mania, and likely will be, because Miz's title reign doesn't look like it's lasting that long, as Armageddon is walking right up to him next week. And this all might have just been a way to get the belt off Drew to then get it onto Bobby, so then Drew can get it back from him at Mania. It just makes sense. Wrestling. Now, with Bobby Lashley looking set to win the title next week though, that could quite drastically change the WrestleMania plans. One plan teased by Corey Graves and Vic Joseph on After the Bell is one we all want to see. Vic said, "I think there's an obvious answer that's out floating there, but I'm not going to give the obvious answer." And Corey went, I am Brock Lesnar. Mixed Paul Heyman. To which Vic followed up with, "Well, there you have it. That's the one guy, that's the marquee, that's the name, that's something that has been teased," would you say, Graves, for years? Definitely since Bobby came back, even before he came back to WWE. It has so much potential, it draws, and that's the case again of you're looking across two guys that you know physically would beat your ass if you were out in a bar and did something, and now they're going to lock horns. Now, Lesnar is currently not signed with WWE, but rumors of a return have been floating around for time immemorial, and Lashley even called him out as a potential opponent on this week's edition of The Bump. Now, whether or not that happens, and whether or not it's over the WWE Championship, remains to be seen, but I blooming well wouldn't mind. So with the apocalypse mooching towards him, Miz's chances of actually keeping hold of the WWE Championship look pretty slim, especially when the reported plan is currently for him and John Morrison to team against Damian Priest and Bad Bunny at Mania. Obviously that might have changed now that he's got the championship, but I doubt it. The current 24/7 champion and t-shirt shifting extraordinaire has jumped right into a WrestleMania match, which you think would ruffle a few feathers backstage, as generally speaking, celebrity angles are not always welcomed by fans or even the performers themselves. But according to a report from Fightful Select, Bad Bunny is especially popular backstage. Sources said that he is easy to deal with and open to doing what is asked of him. Additionally, one Raw wrestler even reportedly said that because Bunny has treated the business seriously, he has made a great impression in the locker room. Good on you, Bad Bunny. Still sticking with The Miz, because he is the WWE champion after all. He was on Renee Paquette's Oral Sessions podcast and talked about one of his most infamous moments on Talking Smack, that heated promo war with Daniel Bryan. Now, Renee said that the fire between the two in the heated promo was real, saying just the level that it got to, I remember at one point feeling like I needed to get in between you two because I was legit concerned because there was like a bit legit animosity between the two of you. To which Miz said, I thought he was going to hit me. I was waiting to get hit. Which also describes Miz's wrestling style. I kid, but opportunities to say something like that don't come up very often, so I just went with it. Anyway, Miz went on to say that he was having a bad day career-wise after being drafted to SmackDown and winning the Intercontinental title, but actually being featured on the show itself. So he went up to Road Dogg and told him to put him on Talking Smack, saying he would unleash it all on Daniel Bryan. Speaking of unleashing it all, no wait, that sounds wrong. Lacey Evans has confirmed she is pregnant for realsies. Wrestling Inc. previously reported that this was a shoot baby. I really resisted writing a different pun there, and not part of the Ric Flair angle that Lacey has been involved in on Raw in recent weeks. Now, the sassy Southern Belle has confirmed it herself while speaking on American Brain and Brawn. She said, I'm having a baby, y'all. I didn't expect it to be right now, as of a week ago. Women in sports entertainment, women in general, you never know. I don't have an office job where I can get a big belly and type away at a desk. That's not what God put in my life. Unfortunately, I gotta take it easy. Congratulations, Lacey. Now, last night, AEW Games held their second episode of their presentation show, AEW 2-Point Show, highlighting progress and updates regarding several AEW games coming soon. With regard to the AEW console game, footage was shown of Ukes collecting audio from the DDP Yoga Studio, the audio being table breaks, weapon spots, and bumps, not just DDP doing yoga. And while there is currently no release date lined up for the console game, Kenny Omega did mention that as part of the conference that every 2 weeks he's been reviewing something new and has had no setbacks or hurdles as of yet, because they are just making no mercy again. Aubrey Edwards talked through some of the pre-alpha footage of the AEW Elite GM mobile game, explaining how stats and stamina work. These are some of the shots courtesy of Sean Ross Sapp on Twitter, and as you can see on this one, all 3 matches on the card received 5 stars. Alright, Meltzer, calm down some, you AEW bias. Jesus, who are you, Ollie Davis? And finally, AEW Casino Double or Nothing was announced to be released on February 26th. That is today. The app includes 13 casino games, including blackjack, poker, slots, and all of the classics. And it looks like every casino betting app ever, doesn't it? But in terms of actual wrestling, the wrestling company is doing. AEW Revolution is coming up next weekend, and ahead of the Young Bucks versus MJF and Chris Jericho for the AEW tag titles, MJF and Jericho look to beat up the Bucks' dad on this week's episode of Dynamite, as you do to further a feud. Now, Papa Buck was bloodied up, which was, of course, fake blood. But according to Bryan Alvarez on Wrestling Observer Live, that's not what he wanted. Alvarez said, the first question I asked about AEW last night was, Papa Buck wanted to cut himself, didn't he? The answer was yes. He wanted to gig and be bleeding all over the place, but then they were like, brother, you can't do that. So then they put on the fake blood, and so if you're complaining about fake blood, the one guy complaining about fake blood was the guy covered in fake blood. Hardcore, Papa Buck. Hardcore. His next step is an exploding barbed wire death match. That angle, along with a cracking main event of Rey Fenix versus Lance Archer and a corker of an opening promo from Jon Moxley, helped Dynamite increase its viewership by 84,000 viewers, up to an average of 831,000 for the episode, up from last week's 747,000. Meanwhile, in NXT, which featured Adam Cole re-breaking everyone's hearts and turning on Roderick Strong, leaving the Undisputed Era as far as we know without actually having to die this time, And Dexter Lumis defeating North American champion Johnny Gargano in a non-title match managed to increase its viewership by 21,000 up to 734,000, which is up from last week's 713,000. But with a big Dynamite plan for next week, including Cody's match against Shaq, and with it being the go-home show for Revolution, you'd expect a bit of a jump for that show. How's that going to affect NXT? We're gonna have to wait and see. Hey you, do you remember how Raw Underground was with that sweaty Shane McMahon? Well, Adam Blumpierre has attempted to rebook it, but better and smartass. Ding! Press the video to the right to watch that episode right now over on Parts Unknown, and press the video below that to find out the real reason that Big Show signed with AEW. Don't forget to subscribe here for daily wrestling news. I've been El Fakador Laurie Blake. That was Lucha. Jam that jam, the jam that champion, jammity jammity, jam jam. You're never getting this back, Ollie.